Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hair's growing in, and it's time for a review of the new Ghostpoet album. Some say I say light. This is the sophomore full-length LP from this UK-based rapper. I first heard of him back in 2011 through the album Peanut Butter Blues and Melancholy Jam. I wasn't huge on the LP, but nonetheless, I did kind of see it as this recent rise, or I saw it as a part of this recent rise in alternative forms of hip hop, or just alternative flavors and new faces in hip hop. People like Danny Brown, Jabaz Palaces, Kendrick Lamar, Milo, Death Grips, A$AP Rocky, and Action Bronson too. Action Bronson didn't start that year. A lot of the people who I just listed didn't start that year, but they did come out with notable records that year that did manage to catch a lot of attention. And for sure, Ghostpoet had his own sort of approach that made him worth noting. He had a lot of atmospheric beats on this LP, a really sort of slow, understated, somewhat whispered flow vocal delivery. To be honest, Ghostpoet felt a lot more like a ghost than he did a poet, considering just how obscured he was and how hard it was to make out some of what he was saying in these tracks. His really understated flow in his voice, which was kind of smudged by effects and some really low mixing, for me personally made him come off much less than gripping. I still admired his will to experiment though. I was hoping that his next album would catch my ears a little bit more, and I guess I could say in a way that this sophomore album has, though I'm not really in love with it. For one, Ghostpoet does diversify his sound, his vocal style, his instrumentals, with some beats on here that do feel hip-hop influenced but are much more electronic. Tracks on here have a pretty huge future garage influence as well with the instrumental, and a few moments here I would actually say are reminiscent of, and furthermore, some tracks like Plastic Bag Brain, the instrumental there, it's essentially just a rock song instrumental. A subtle rock instrumental, but still a rock instrumental. Now, as far as Ghostpoet's voice, he's much more front and center, much more audible, his lyrics intelligible, his emotions sort of tangible. However, after giving this LP a listen, I can't really say maybe better production and just clearer vocals were what Ghostpoet needed. If anything, this album is lacking a captivating vocal performance and lyrics to back that up. One track after another, Ghostpoet delivers these haphazard sort of boring vocalizations. They just sound sort of silly at times, and for many tracks here as well, he seems to be singing with this forcefully lethargic attitude. It's like he's really too tired to put the emotion necessary to captivate an audience into his singing. And it's not like he tries to hide his listless attitude. For sure, it's decidedly this way, with some track titles on here like Sloth Trot or Comatose. However, there's nothing on this LP musically, lyrically, or emotionally that makes me feel some kind of emotion in reaction to his sluggishness. At the end of the day, when I give a listen to this LP, I just feel like I am a spectator to somebody else's rainy day or spilled milk. I feel like a little bit I'm listening to the hip-hop equivalent to the new national record or something. The prettiest thing on this record has got to be the instrumentals, and there are some good instrumental choices on here. The string sections at the end of Comatose are great. Some of the more future garage influenced beats have nice grooves to them, especially the opener, and the synthesizer melody, the very sort of simple synthesizer melody, which has a driving groove to it on the song Them Waters. It's very moody, it's very electrified, it's very nocturnal. Again, I like a lot of the instrumentals here, but none of them are so redeeming that I'm really able to get into this new Ghostpoet album and enjoy the songs as they currently are. Truth be told, this album really, truly underwhelms me, and there's not much more to it than that, really. If you've given this LP a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it, hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? And that's it. Anthony Fantano, Ghostpoet, forever.